WIC Halstead in Chicago. And when I got there, I found out who it was because their names were on the door. And I remember Pretty Zinta came in a black limousine. I think it was a limousine of some kind. It was a big limousine. She came in, and Babish says she doesn't want anybody taking pictures of her when she's entering to go to her room, her backstage room. And so none of us, at least I didn't, take any pictures. We just stood there, and she walked by us. Of course, she was fair game once she got on stage. Later on, I got pictures of her the second time too, when she came back in 2016, and I did print one of those too. She was in like a fur. It was cold that day, and she had like a really nice white fur coat on, and I got a picture of her with that on, and I did print that. But when she came in, I won't have any pictures of that because we were told not to, that she didn't want any pictures taken. She didn't want to be mobbed by photographers, is what it was. And then when she came on stage, I was able to take as many as I wanted, then. I think she was on it. Shmita Sen was a fellow actress with her, and Kritik Roshan, if I'm remembering right. This was a long time ago now. That was probably the best show. If I were to pick one show and say it was the best show I've ever seen, it was that one. We did have one named Slam. It was a pretty good show. That I took pictures at, and they shot fireworks off in the building, right at the stage. They were shooting fire and stuff like that, and we had to stand back. All the photographers had to stand, like it was like a fence between and the fire marshal was there during that show, like right up in the front there, and there was a little bit bigger area for the pit. And I got pictures of this. I'm sure I got pictures of it. There was, instead of having like maybe 4 or 5 feet, which is usually about how wide the pit is where we run around in, it was maybe 10 feet or something. It was bigger. It was a bigger area, maybe even more than that. And we had to stay up against the gate, like up against the back. And if you were going to go forward, you went up, took your picture, and came back. Because they had that pyrotechnics. It was for safety. You had to stand, all of us had to stand back. And you kind of had to use judgment. If you wanted a special shot, you could kind of go up there and cheat a little bit. Go up there, take your picture, and come back. But most of your pictures, or some of your pictures, you would have to take from up against there was this like gate or whatever, and it was maybe a little bit more pronounced gate because of the pyrotechnics. But I think that was the only show that I had that I took pictures at in the pit. And that was kind of an exciting thing. That was like my second to my last show, or third to my last show, or something like that. It was one of the later shows that I did. And there was some big performers. I mean, it was a pretty big show. And people had to pay a lot of money for these shows. This isn't just some little festival. For those shows, the people that sat right behind us had to pay, one person had to pay $3,500 for a VIP pass. And the front row, just the front row alone, and the VIP you get to go back front row was like 1,000 or more. It was a lot of money. It was a ridiculous amount of money. It was enough to buy a camel. And I took pictures in front of them. The most expensive seats in the arena are right in front of the pit. What you call the pit. The pit's right in front of the stage. And yeah, they paid $3,500. And that $3,500 was for a 4-hour show. Oh, look at this. Look at this little car. I know they often got I don't know if it guaranteed a autograph or not, but they got to go backstage. It might have guaranteed an autograph, but I know I was backstage one time, and I was trying to get an autograph too, and I think I did get it. And Babish, somebody else was, that was in the front row area. It was from the privileged area. I don't know exactly where they sat, but they were back there. They could be back there. And I think they were being a little too insistent or something. And Babish says, "You're not getting it." And he says, "You're out." Throw him out. You're not getting the autograph. And I got one. I got the autograph and he didn't. And then there was another case where there was another photographer, and he was taking pictures like I was, and there were some pictures that were published. This is tight. I hope he doesn't feel slighted by me. But we both took similar pictures, and pictures got published in a foreign magazine or something, and I never saw it, but I think Babish had the copy there. Maybe I saw it, but I didn't get a copy of it. And Babish said, this guy says, "Oh, those are my pictures," and Babish says, "No, they're not. Those are Dan's pictures." And he threw them out. He told him, "You're not taking pictures anymore. You're not allowed to take pictures anymore." He threw them out. And I have no way of saying if the guy was right or wrong, but I did take some pictures, and some pictures ended up in this magazine. I think I saw the magazine maybe, but I never got a copy of it. But it was an Indian publication of some kind, and so my pictures were published in India, but I never got a copy of it or anything. Well, it would have been nice to get a copy of that. This guy claimed them, and Babish said, "No, you're not only are they not your pictures, but for you being insistent," he wasn't invited back anymore. He was told that. He said, "You're not coming back." Kind of an odd thing. I mean, but I guess he liked my work, and I got another lens later on, and I think the lens was either not right, or maybe it wasn't a good lens for low light, and I didn't get quite as good of pictures from it. And some of the later, and technology had caught up quite a bit, and so in other words, the other people that were photographers, they had better cameras than I did, and I think they had more knowledge. And then in about that time, he sold the rights, and so I kind of just bowed out. But in the beginning, I went to Amish Patel program. It was like a Garba or something like that.